Let us see what are the roles within an agile team and what are the fundamental aspects of an agile team. At its core, agile development enables teams to work quickly and efficiently by creating clear goals and standard way of working. Your team even has the option to choose between several frameworks within agile project management. Key fundamental aspects of agile team include communication between communication between team members, management, and cross teams to discuss rapid change. Second fundamental aspect is introspective opportunities or team retrospectives where team members can discuss what went well, what went poorly, and what needs to be improved. Third is a flexible and adaptive way of working when projects require quick, unexpected changes. Fourth aspect is self-organizing and self-sufficient ways of working that allow teams to assign their own tasks and sprint goals and estimates. And the fifth aspect is collaboration and independent management among team members to improve delivery. A common delusion about agile development is that everyone can do everything. In fact, the opposite is true. To run a disciplined agile process, well-defined roles and responsibilities are important. Although the names of these roles might differ from what you call them, you will find that their descriptions match roles that you are familiar with. A key aspect of being agile is that people are empowered to make decisions without many meetings and building consensus. This aspect can be a significant challenge in some enterprise organizations. Project cadence with playbacks to all interested parties is key to making the whole organization more comfortable with decisions. Core roles in agile teams are as follows. In the most basic sense, a team is a group of people who work together to accomplish a common goal. For development and operations teams, the goal is usually to deliver a product or a microservice that is a part of a product. To achieve success, make sure that the key roles are filled. Product manager or a product owner role. The role of a product manager or owner is critical. He or she ensures that the team creates an engaging product and delivers business value by meeting the needs of the markets. Product owners must understand company strategy, market needs, the competitive landscape, and which customer needs are unfulfilled. The product manager has these responsibilities. Number one, owns the scope of the project, works with sponsor or users, identifies personas, defines the minimum viable product MVP, and defines hypothesis. Number two, collaborates with the designers on the overall user experience, attends playbacks with sponsor, users, and stakeholders, and collaborates through user testing. Number three, defines, writes, and ranks the user stories that direct the design and development work. Number four, accept user stories, uh, that is decides when a user story has delivered the MVP, decides when to go to production, and owns or collaborates on on the go to market plan. Let's see what is the role of sponsor in agile team. The sponsor is typically an executive who has the vision and owns the overall delivery and success of the project. Ideally, the squad has playbacks and brings any issues to the sponsor each week. Part of the sponsor's job is to ensure that the squad has everything it needs to succeed and to support it in its use of agile methods. What does user experience design lead or uh, engineer do in the agile project management? The UX design lead or engineer or the team is responsible for all aspects of the project's user experience. The goal of every project is to create experiences that delight users. Reaching that goal requires a strong, experienced designer who can oversee all aspects of the design from the initial workshop through visual design and user testing. The UX design engineer or lead has these responsibilities. Number one, leads design thinking practices such as persona definition, empathy mapping, scenario mapping, idealization, and MVP definition. Number two, creates great user experience concepts and produces wireframe sketches to communicate the experience with broader team. Number three, drives collaboration with extended design team, development team, and product management team to maximize innovation. Collaborates with visual designers to deliver high fidelity designs. Number four, ensures a consistent user experience across all the facets of an offering, working with UX leaders in other squads when necessary. Number five, plans and runs user testing to ensure that real world feedback is injected in all phases of the project. In some projects, a dedicated user researcher assumes this responsibility. Large projects might have a UX designer or a dedicated user researcher who works with a UX design lead or engineer. In those cases, UX design lead is responsible for all aspects of the experience, but the UX designer might create a few of these design artifacts as well. Let's see the what a visual designer plays as part of his roles and responsibilities in an agile team. Visual designer converts the user experience concepts into detailed designs that emotionally connect with users. The visual designer uses his or her understanding of color, fonts, and visual hierarchy to convert conceptual designs into detailed designs that developers can build. Visual designer creates all the necessary visual effects including images, illustrations, logos, and icons. He or she also ensures a consistent application of corporate styles and branding, or where appropriate, suggest deviations from styles and branding. Let's see who is sponsor user and what are his or her responsibilities. A product that doesn't satisfy a real user need is a failed design. The best way to ensure that your project meets users' needs is to involve users in the process. A sponsor user is a real user, someone outside your organization, who will use the product that is being built. A sponsor user must be carefully selected so that he or she accurately represents the needs of widest possible user base. In some cases, you might want more than one sponsor user. What are the responsibilities of a sponsor user? Number one, represents the needs of the user throughout the process. Participates in all phases of the project from the initial design workshop through design, development, and user testing. Number three, ensures that all decisions reflect the needs of the user. In some cases, the sponsor user might be the person who demonstrates the design or prototypes to other stakeholders. What better way to show the value of a design than to have a real user show it and explain why it matters? Let's see what a developer plays in this entire agile method of project management. Developers build code by using core agile practices such as keep it simple, test driven development, continuous integration, uh, and microservice design, etc. Agile development requires more collaboration than is required in the waterfall model. As a part of a modern agile DevOps team, developers must be adept to rapidly learning and using new technologies. In DevOps approach, the developer role is merged with quality assurance, release management, and operations. A developer has following responsibilities. Number one, collaborates with designers and product managers to ensure that that the code that is developed meets their vision. Number two, designs the solution to meet functional and non-functional requirements. Number three, writes automated, ideally before writing code, writes code, develops delivery pipelines and automated deployment scripts, configures services such as databases and monitoring, fixes problems from the development phase throughout the production phase, which requires being on call for production support. For developers to have such broad roles, they rely on cloud technologies to free them from many and sometimes even all infrastructure tasks. In an ideal DevOps organization, developers take an operations fully take on operations fully and are on pager duty for production problems. In many companies, including virtually all enterprises, an operations team provides the first response to production issues. However, you can still have a DevOps culture if the second call is to a developer to fix the problem. For more information about the operation roles that developers take on, we should dig deep into cloud service management and operational roles. We will do that in the later lessons. Teams might need developers with specialized skills such as analytics or mobile. In those cases, use pair programming to spread the skills throughout the team. Who is anchor developer? An anchor developer is an experienced developer who provides leadership and architecture and design choices, such as which UI framework to use on a project. Even with the use of agile tracking tools, sponsors and stakeholders often want a direct report on progress, issues, and key technical decisions. The anchor developer is that technical focal point who also does development work. Who is an agile coach? An agile coach leads the organization in agile methods. The coach must have knowledge and experience to recommend changes to various practices in response to unique circumstances within the organization. The coach identifies problems and uh, misapplications of the agile principles and suggests corrections and continuous improvements. One approach that works well is for the agile coach to be part of the squad that has delivery responsibilities. In that way, the coach can provide guidance about the method and practices as part of the day-to-day work. The agile coach usually has experience with agile projects and is passionate about the processes and practices. Alternatively, an agile coach can work across several squads and mentor them on the process and practices. Depending on your squad structure and project size, the day-to-day responsibilities of facilitating daily stand-up meetings, planning, and playbacks might be the responsibility of either the agile coach or the anchor developer.